You're watching Satluj TV News. I'm Angus Scott in London. The year 1984 resonates tragically across the Sikh community. The year when tens of thousands of innocent men, women and even children were callously and brutally murdered in one of the most horrific sequences of events in modern times, since known as the Sikh genocide. As a result, a whole generation of Sikhs have spent the intervening 39 years demanding justice and accountability for many of the key individuals who were responsible for the massacre. Justice has been slow, and the Indian state machinery remains long accused of deliberately dragging its heels to bring the perpetrators to justice, many of whom actually were part of the government at the time. However, the Sikh community are at last being delivered at least a sliver of justice, with the ongoing trial of one politician at the time accused of leading a mob to burn Sikhs alive in Delhi in 1984. Jagdish Chitla was finally charged in June this year when a charge sheet submitted by the Criminal Bureau of Investigation was approved by court and the case sent to trial in a special MP PLA Court of Justice. Although the trial date was set for the 29th of August, Chitla's legal team have been given extra time to peruse supplemental documents submitted by the prosecution. The trial now adjourned until tomorrow, the 6th of September. The charges ranged against Chitla include inciting, instigating and provoking a mob that had assembled outside Gurdwara Pul Bangash, which resulted in the Gurdwara being burnt down and 3 Sikh men being killed. The incident occurred on the 1st of November 1984, one day among several during which thousands of Sikhs were tortured and killed by rampaging mobs. At the time, the mobs were armed and directed by several key figures within the government state machinery. Witnesses state that in Pal Bangash, a mob armed with petrol canisters, sticks, swords and rods was directed and encouraged by Chitla, then a Member of Parliament for the Congress Party, to first kill Sikhs and then engage in looting. In reference to the assassination of Indira Gandhi a day earlier, he incited the mob to kill the Sikhs. They have killed our mother. Chitla publicly protests his innocence of the charges. However, film evidence dating back to 2011 exists where he privately boasted about killing 100 Sikhs during the 1984 genocide. The Indian government and justice system have been criticised for decades over the lack of robust investigation and judicial process to pursue those guilty of the genocide. Some critics claim Chitla has only been offered up as simple symbolic scapegoat to appease the Sikh community, whilst many others continue to evade justice with the assistance of the Indian government. But despite the passage of time since the terrible events of 1984, memories amongst the Sikh community remain fresh, and the desire for justice remains just as strong as it was nearly 40 years ago. You've been watching Satluj TV News, and you can find more stories in detail on our channel at Satnet News, so it's worth clicking on that subscribe button to make sure you get to see stories as they're broadcast. And don't forget, if you have any comments or opinions on any of our news stories, you can comment below or indeed drop us a direct message at message@satlujtv.com. We would love to hear from you. In the meantime, thanks for watching. For Satluj TV News, I'm Angus Scott in London.